Judge Ray Lee Chabot is one of Southeast Michigan's most well-respected judges, admired even by lawyers who come out on the losing end in her courtroom. But tonight at 11, the Action News investigators look into allegations that this judge is spending more time outside of the courtroom than in it. Action News investigator Ross Jones joins us live this morning via Skype with a preview of this story. All right, good morning, Ross. What exactly have you been able to find out about this judge?
Well, good morning, Vic. Yeah, this is a judge, like you said. She's earned the respect of a lot of lawyers who practiced before her. This story is about whether or not she's earning her six-figure salary. We got a call several weeks ago from some courthouse tipsters who said there's a judge who doesn't put in a lot of time you might want to take a look at. So we made some calls. We called some of our sources, and then we took our undercover cameras and we started watching. And here's just some of what we found.
It's just after 9 o'clock on a Thursday last March. Court started a half hour ago, but in Judge Chabot's chambers, they're already running behind schedule. Things are running slow because the judge hasn't left home yet. In fact, she won't pull into work until a full hour after court is set to begin. When she finally shows up around 9:30, Chabot spends a few hours on the bench, but shortly after 12:30, she heads out of the building. The destination is West Bloomfield's Red Coat Tavern. And if you think the wheels of justice grind slowly, it turns out the wheels of lunch grind just as slow. Hours go by and still no sign of her honor. Finally, at just before 4 o'clock, she emerges, spending as much time at lunch, a full 3 hours, as she did all day in court. After she paid her tab and headed out, it was time for a hug and to head home. Monday, March 28th, late again for work. This time it's a 9:20 start time for Judge Chabot. But as noon approaches, it's off to lunch, this time at Buffalo Wild Wings. She finishes up at around 1:15, but it's not back to work for the judge. Instead, she heads home again, less than 3 hours on the bench.
Now, Judge Chabot and her boss both tell us that she is just as productive as the other judges on the bench, and records show that she gets about as many cases done per year. But this is a story about whether or not taxpayers are getting their money's worth and just how much she's putting in on the bench. And one of the interesting things that I found out while doing this story, and I know this isn't how it is at Channel 7, Vic and Alicia, but judges don't need to put in for time off when they work partial days. They can come in, work an hour, work 2 hours, and leave. They don't need to ask for permission. They don't need to put in for time off. I can't remember the last job I had that was like that, but that's how it is for judges.
Well, Ross, obviously we just saw the video that you presented to us. I'm curious, were you able to catch up with the judge yet and talk to her about some of the allegations that people were bringing to the forefront?
Yeah, we gave her a call. We told her what this story was about and what we had heard, and we wanted to sit down with her and do an interview. She declined through one of her assistants, so we ended up catching up with her as she was leaving for lunch one day last week, and she was not happy to talk to us. She was not in a good mood, and you might expect that, but this is a public official. She makes $140,000 a year, and I think the questions we asked are reasonable ones about just how much time she's spending at work. You'll see the full story tonight on Action News at 11. We hope you'll join us.
All right, Ross, thanks for getting up early with us this morning, and be sure to catch the full investigation. Once again, that's tonight on Action News at 11 o'clock.